emerging on the calls. We've got like 12 callers on the board. That's the limit of the calls we can see. One time we had 24,000 calls in just 3 hours. Other talk show hosts beg for phone calls with 20-plus thousand calls. I'm not bragging. It just shows you. Again, they're all about how they're the MSN. They have the audience. CNN hardly ever takes calls. When they do, they have to beg for them. Because at 5 o'clock, they take our republic to the gallows pole. Yeah, they want to kill this republic. It won't go so easily, quietly into the night. If they want to fight, they're going to get one. I never won a fight I started. I only started a couple. I won every fight somebody else started. Every time. And that's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. They have initiated the fight. They're going to lose. All right. I want to go to your phone calls. Briefly, it's admitted, and we've all gotten so calm about it, that Facebook's blocking mild promotion of let's make America great again. Hey, it's great. Look, jobless, numbers have gone down. And then you own a major sporting goods store. I know somebody that works and runs their marketing. And they get suspended for a day on Facebook. And their boss comes in and says, why does that happen? Well, we got suspended for political speech, they say. And then, of course, the upper-level management says, well, then don't do it again. Well, now, even your sporting goods store doesn't have optimism for America. This is how this is working. And then most of these people are scared to speak out. I know for a fact that other big libertarian patriot sites are getting kicked off ad roll. They're getting censored. They're scared to speak out. They're hoping they can grovel back to it. It's this instinct to be raped. And so YouTube and Google, and of course it's part of Google is YouTube, they're all censoring right now. And the answer is don't give in to it, speak out against it, and say it's wrong. They'll let all the anti-American globalist crap be online, but you start talking about stuff, they'll delete your video, they'll demonetize it, they'll suspend you, you name it. The answer is make an issue out of it, speak out of it, talk about it, or then it becomes normalized, and then they start ratcheting it up. So we got a bunch of callers want to talk about what they're seeing happen. I remember seeing this years ago where you'd have Navy SEAL grip about Benghazi. Put together a meme about, Hillary lied, they died, just images of the men's faces. Facebook would block that because it was viral. Now they're just blocking stuff and not letting you spread things. Or on Trump's Twitter, it's only negative comments that go to the top. They're controlling that and admitting they are. They said, hell, we might just ban him, the president, off Twitter. So if you support the president, they're trying to block you off these third-party sites. So raid these third-party sites with the truth. Get the info out there even harder. But build your own site again. Go back to those like Matt Drudge warned here in his only interview in 4 years. A year and a half ago or a year and 3 months ago. Create your own system. Build your. We have our own streams, our own podcast, our own audio, our own, you name it, at Infowars.com/show. We can still contact you via email with key videos and articles and discounts for the shopping cart, you name it, InfoWarsStore.com. But go to Infowars.com/newsletter and sign up for that so we can stay in contact with you. We have the last chance for the defense of liberty and free speech, Make America Great Again, mega specials that end tomorrow. Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver, 33% off. Super Male Vitality, 25% off. Brain Force, 25% off. Survival Shield X2, 25% off. Caveman, 33% off. Donald J. Trump and Ronald Reagan, one-of-a-kind lithographs numbered $19.95. In a store, they'd be hundreds or if not thousands framed. Free Alexa Pure Water Filter with 3 months supply of high-quality My Patriot InfoWars Select Storable Food. Get great products and help fund the tip of the spear in the fight against the globalist, help defend InfoWars, and help us bring in more capital to fund this news operation under the censorship with these Make America Great Again specials at InfoWarsStore.com before we pull down the specials. We've got a limited edition Donald Trump M4 lower that's 80% complete, that's about to sell out, that's got a laser scan, a laser burn of Trump. It says 1776 reborn, President of the United States, 45, Donald J. Trump. And it's numbered. All right. Let me go ahead and start with your phone calls now. I've got other news and other clips I'm going to hit as well, some interesting scientific developments. Well, here's what I'm saying. People want us to fight. They want us to take action. They want to see people defeat the New World Order, create a liberty narrative that counters them. You want to see us not just have a beachhead in Washington, but reverse it all. Trump knows he will win by delivering prosperity and restoring the republic. He's all in. There's no way he's fake. Attacking those that are anti-free speech, attacking political correctness, promoting Americana, exposing globalism, exposing one-time and one-sided trade deals is coffin nails to their agenda. That's why they hate him. It's why Goldman Sachs gave 100% of their money to Hillary, not to Trump. Is he trying to recruit people from Goldman Sachs to join him in this quest? Absolutely. It's like trying to get the German general staff in World War II to be secret agents for America. Of course. But the globalists hate Trump, the great indicator. Then you look at what he's doing, the small business numbers. It's all coming in the best since 1984. And they howl and say, shut it down. And if you try to promote the fact that even Bloomberg and CNN admit that Trump's doing great with small businesses and the general public, they try to shut it down. All right, who do we go to first here? So many calls. We got Shane in Ohio wants to talk about Facebook censorship. A lot of this is coming in. So let's talk about this because they don't want to announce this. Notice I announced on Monday that one of the biggest advertising hubs that Google makes you use to be on Google advertising. This isn't me selling you stuff. This is me trying to go out and sell stuff to make money to bring it back to fund the operation. Big part of why we even have money this year to operate. Now, this is a huge blow. If we don't fix it and have surgery, we'll bleed out. This will really show that we're weak. They'll attack us more. We'll go down. We must beat this and get bigger. Not because I want to be bigger, believe me, but because that's how it works. You don't stay in stasis. You get smaller or bigger. And I have responsibility because if we get small, then they're really going to come in. We've got to hyper expand here. I realize that. I know it historically. I'm doing it. So, again, I'm going to come back and take your calls, actually. We'll do 2 segments with them. But, no, I'll go to one right now. How long do I have? A minute and a half? Only got like a minute 20. And I'm going to come back to Shane and others that are being censored. But it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. You can even email an American flag on the 4th of July, and they'll block you. Just like the Ninth Circuit ruled 2 years ago that American flags are banned in public schools in California because they're hurtful. Whiteboards all over colleges nationwide because someone might write something offensive are being banned. Detroit News, AP. And they're saying this is good. Again, that's like saying you can never write a book because you might write something hateful. You can't have whiteboards. This is real authoritarianism. It's not coming down the road. It was so bad. If they were going to win, if they were going to get this in, they were going to physically come after us, and that was so crazy. I'll give you a big secret. A lot of the mercenaries inside the CIA and FBI and NSA and Defense Intelligence didn't block Hillary because they even cared about America and because they cared about God. They did it because they knew it would absolutely cause a civil war and was bad for business and their own selfish lives. But at least they weren't pure evil, so committed like kamikazes they were willing to bring it all down just to take over. But that's the big secret, is the globalists were planning to bring it all down this year if Hillary got in, and a bunch of evil people blocked it.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the info war.
We'll do some report that I won't even think will be big, and it'll get 25 million views, 30 million views, some of them. A lot of videos every week get over 1 million views, 2 million views, 4 million views. Just on Facebook and Google, YouTube, other areas. But then when the Communist Chinese are in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, PC World, you name it, this year, saying we're going to help the U.S. government censor the liberty movement and block Trump. Like the U.S. government now, Trump isn't in charge of it. And they just ignore him and move forward. So thank God he's not going to a correspondence dinner or kicking out the CNN that has been caught getting money from all the Arab states and the Communist Chinese. And there's news today where Hollywood is openly being bought up by the Chinese. I told people that 10 years ago, and you said, oh, the Chinese own it, and all the anti-Semites are like covering up for the Jews. Well, let's just say the Jewish people, a lot of them that own Hollywood, a lot of other folks as well, a lot of Italians in Hollywood owning it, a lot of other folks as well, from James Cameron to you name it, they're selling out of the Chinese. And I told you that. Just Google Alex Jones, China buying up Hollywood 10 years ago. But see, that's what I'm about, is trailblazing. That's an authoritarian state that's enslaved its people, selling out, and it's in the news. Oh, man, is China validated about cracking down on fake news? Thank God. Help us crack down on these Americans. Everyone should just instantly be done with PC World or anybody else that is like writing articles going, man, this Hitler in 1943, he really knows how to deal with people that cause problems. We ought to implement what he wants. But they think you're so stupid, they just act like that. But there's a large portion of folks that aren't that dumb. All right, I want to go to your phone calls talking about censorship and more. I'm going to try to move quick here, so just make your point. I'll move to the next person. Shane in Ohio, you're calling in about Facebook. And again, we just got censored off Google Ads, but it's just, you'd think everything I talk about is in the news, but not that. They want to have a stealth program of censorship until I file a lawsuit. Go ahead.
Yeah, they've taken me and 13 that I know of my friends, and they're banning us. I'm banned right now for 30 days. That's no liking no videos, no sharing no videos, no messaging, nobody.
They just use your data and your name, whatever you ever said to them, they say they own it. So send us post the message. Post it on YouTube. Use another platform to expose what they did. That's how we kind of jump across the lava here on the rocks, or like across the stream. You have to then expose it in another venue. They think you're dumb and will only sit there and wait. And then you do it again, they ban you. So they're trying to teach you to be a good slave. Tell us what happened.
You're right. So I got banned a while ago during the election. This is like the 4th ban, and now it's a 30-day ban. It goes from like 3 days to 7 days, or whatever, you know what I mean? And now it's a 30-day ban.
And again, did you screenshot what the great evil was that you engaged in?
My first great evil was I said that CNN equals Sandy Hook. That was it. Fake news. It's fake. And that was it. That was it.
Yeah, they don't want you to question their narratives if they would ever stage something, even though they've been caught doing it. I think a lot of Sandy Hook did happen, but we have a right to question as Americans regardless. All right, well, I hear you, and expose it. When something happens, talk about it, which you've just done. Let's talk another call about what's happening. Facebook censorship in Colorado. Eric, you're on the air. Go ahead.
You're right about censorship. It's not just happening on Twitter. It's happening on... If Donald Trump posts something on his Facebook site, it's just flooded with negative comments.
Oh, yeah, no, they admit they've gauged it to not let any positive in where he can see it to make him feel like he doesn't have support. But Trump knows it's all being manipulated. He understands it. That's why he's saying, fine, I'm done with all of you, and he's moving away to launch his own systems.
Yeah, I'm using different platforms now, and I'm trying to get everybody to leave Facebook. I'm saying...
Well, what you do is you raid Facebook, and then you point them at your operation. You set up your own website, which then points at other areas and other sites that are patriot, and then you just let people know it's there for the exodus. You don't just leave. You take people like Moses didn't just leave. He took everybody with him. See what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Because I have a radio show, too, that we do on Sunday nights. And we have a page on Facebook that we use to promote the show. And it was hard for me to think, how am I going to get out of Facebook to promote the show? And we found another place today, where we could actually do a website off of Facebook so we can bypass Facebook altogether.
That's it. But don't just do that. What did I say? Create your own site, but go in and create new ones on Facebook to take everybody away.
Yes.
I appreciate your call.
Sure.
Again, that's key. I've been through this, folks. I started out 21 years ago on Access TV when they would do everything to shut me up. I mean, and I've been through the process. I've been fired repeatedly. I mean, believe me. Use their platforms. Have your own. Like Drudge does. He has, a Twitter and some other stuff, but it's all about his site. We have to do the same thing here. And that means support the big motherships out there, like what Trump's doing, what Drudge is doing, what I'm doing. Support those because we're the big capital ships that their big guns are shooting at. And believe me, if they can blow us up, we're going to have some victories. But good luck, because we only get stronger as they attack us. It's like banning the Sex Pistols, in England only made them superstars. And we're not just acting cool like a bunch of teenagers. We're doing real stuff here. Let's go ahead and take another call. Let's go ahead and talk to Catherine in Canada. Catherine, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex.
Welcome.
Hey, I watched Mike Pence's speech in Munich to the countries in NATO, and he actually put the countries in NATO on like a reality check.
Sure. No, exactly. The media said, oh, he disagrees with Trump. He loves NATO. NATO's perfect. He wants to attack Russia. He said, we'll stand up to Russia if they do something wrong. But NATO, you're going to have to pay, and you're not going to be able to sit here and just back up the EU and have a bunch of refugees pour in. He actually delivered what Trump said to deliver, but the media misrepresented what he said. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that was what I was going to say. He gave the countries, there's only about 4 countries in all of NATO that actually pay their share, Canada and U.S. being one of them. I think Great Britain's the other. He gave them all to the end of the year to figure out a plan in their government to start paying. And I'm just wondering...
And then we're anti-NATO because the U.S. doesn't want to pay 30%. Last time I looked, UK like 10%. Exactly. Canada like 6%. Why should we pay almost all of it like the United Nations? Why?
Yeah, I want to know, what do you think their plan is to do to make the countries pay if they don't? I'm just wondering what your take is.
Well, here's the deal. We could use the UN as a force for good if America that's founded it and funded it took control of it. I'm not somebody that just says, don't use these things. We should. They're there. They're institutions. Reform them. It's like somebody's house that's bad. You move in, you buy it, you make it better. We can perform an exorcism, I guess. I'm being sarcastic. But absolutely, we should just withdraw our funding and our military force from NATO. But they're not going to do that. But we never negotiate. All Trump's saying is the days of having America sell itself out to special interest while we impoverish the people are over. Plus, it kills the base that creates the wealth. A real elite would want a big, prosperous, big, fat middle class.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a new alliance coming up with Japan, Canada, if Australia wants to get on board, Great Britain. I think there's going to be a different type of alliance.
Exactly, because nobody ever challenged Goldman Sachs and a few big banks that the Rockefellers set up with this big mega system at the end of World War II and the end of, the whole program that was set up where we were the world reserve currency. They built their corporate anti-human power off us. Then they want to get rid of what gave them the power. No, what Trump's doing is a masterstroke.
Exactly, and I think that's why they're so worried about Russia, because they're going to be a big part, too, being anti-New World Order.
Well, Russia is, to quote Tony Montana, a great, big, giant country, 3 times the size of the U.S., with just amazing resources, ready to do great deals, empower their people, empower us. It's much better than China, who doesn't have any resources and is overburdened with too many people. Most of the demographic experts, the demographers, and others agree Russia is the big juicy. Africa is not the big juicy. China is not the big juicy. The big juicy Marilyn Monroe that you want to get in bed with is Russia. And the globalists just want to exploit it, keep it poor, and kind of rip it off and all this. No, let's just end all this crap and absolutely have this new system that'll be a lot better for everybody. But see, this is a pro-human system, so the globalists don't want it. The globalists want us weak. Trump wants us strong because he believes in humanity. He's not anti-human. More calls straight ahead. CJ was just making a good point.
This is our land.
Mainstream media saying they want to pray for Trump's death.
These are our people.
Like Rolling Stone says, pray to Satan.
The workers, the strivers.
Imagine
the builders.
What they're praying against InfoWars right now. Doesn't matter. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So just pray for all our own salvation and protection. And pray for God's will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. Why do you think
the answer to 19...
Melania prayed that? You don't think they just announced these psychic and satanic attacks this week? They're already going on. Trump said, I didn't know she'd say that. I didn't know she'd do that. She immediately went up there and prayed the Lord's Prayer. I'm Alex Jones, your host. I want to go back to these calls. Got a bunch of them. I'm going to move quick through them, but that's the theme here is the spiritual attack. We are dealing with a bunch of devil worshipers in their own admissions. Let's play Melania, because I didn't get to this clip, where she talks about the Lord's Prayer and recites it, and Trump had no idea it was about to happen. And then a week later, all over the news, they're saying, kill Trump, pray for his death, pray that he die and fall into ashes, engage in voodoo, Satanism, pray that demons come out of hell, the other dimension, to hurt Trump. Don't you get that if you believe in that and know history, you get sevenfold what happens to Trump. But they get a bunch of idiots that grew up watching Harry Potter to think this is a joke. You're like a psychic creature that has DNA that resonates with the universe. You start doing this, you destroy yourself. They're trying to get you, their followers, to open yourselves up to incredible evil. Whether you love Trump or not, these are people asking you to basically be demon food if you believe in all this stuff. What happens to witches? Houses fall on them. Everybody knows that. We've all seen what happens. I'll get you and your little dog, too, because these things must be done delicately. Here is Melania.
Let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Yea, that'll walk through the shadow of the valley of death, or walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. By the way, I love how Trump, it says later, I didn't know she was doing that. That's great. Trump, if he just believes in somebody, whether it's somebody in the crowd or his wife, he just says, come up. It's not scripted. He knows the magic is in what's real. So do I. Let's go ahead and talk to Connie in New York. Go ahead. Then we'll go to Johnny.
Great to talk to you.
Go ahead.
Great to talk to you, Alex. Sorry for the cold. First of all, I love your Brain Forest Knockout Bio Defense. I get a subscription, and I just love everything that you sell.
Thank you.
I want to say that I pray for Trump so hard. It's like a constant mantra. I've gone to...
And do you see how strong he's getting because of it?
Oh, I'm so grateful. And I know that other people are praying for him, too. And I think it's one of the most important ways that we can psychically
Well, let me just
help
say, the times I've talked to Trump is that he talks about the Spirit, he talks about God, he talks about helping Christians have free speech, he talks about, do you feel it, Alex? Do you feel God, the Spirit coming back? I mean, that's what he talks about. Those are private discussions. I shouldn't say that. But folks need to know that Trump really is a Christian. He's just not going to be a hypocrite. But the Holy Spirit is on Trump. And so Trump feels it when you're praying for him. And that's why the enemy knows it. They know that he's really now just coming into the anointing.
Yep, I've had a mass card sent to him. I mean, I'm going to up it. I'm going to up the level of the ante. And besides that, I just want to ask you, I get these things from you, but I'm willing to go to the next level and just pay, to support you monthly. So if you can make that bigger, I think there are many more of us that will do it. Put it on each page.
Absolutely, because the attacks are substantive and they're increasing exponentially. I don't want to give it attention, but it's just bad. We have donation page at Infowars.com/show. We should start up like a monthly deal, kind of like auto ship on the products. If people want to donate $1, $10, whatever for the mission, we're going to set that up and have these pledge drives to get the more reporters hired and also stand against the attacks. So God bless you. And I don't want to be selfish, but for my family, please, thank you for the prayers. My grandmother, who prayed for me hours a day, is gone. And she's not in this plane anymore, and I can feel her loss, her strength. So I need those prayers because out of all the prayers, my grandmother, who I was connected to, was so strong. She's connected to me. She's gone. She died a few weeks ago. I need that. I need that. And so thank you for the prayers. But the children and the innocents that are being attacked, they need the prayers more than anybody. And so just thank you for your prayers as well. We should all pray for each other and pray for people that just want justice and who don't want death upon the planet. Doesn't mean we're up on big high horses or anything, but we're so meek that we never just pray for each other and pray for everybody to stand for what's right, because you look at the enemy, they're wicked, they want a fallen world, they hate anybody that isn't like them because misery loves company. I apologize for breaking down. It's just the energy level on the planet is just escalating. And the enemy can feel it. It's why they're just absolutely in fear right now. Let's go ahead and talk to Don in Seattle. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Thank you, Alex. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the making available the Survival Shield X2. It has literally changed my life.
Well, it's a good halogen. All the bad ones they dump in the water, so it fills up your thyroid. It's amazing. Thank you.
Well, it's more than just the water out here, brother. The radiation out here in the West Coast is unbelievable.
They don't know why it's higher than Chernobyl in Europe right now. They don't know what's going on. Radiation in the Northern Hemisphere is just going up and up.
Anyway, on the spiritual battle, I'd like to thank Trump for having the courage to bring out the evil that is going on, the pedophilia that has been going on for eons, and it needs to stop. It really does.
Yeah, it's the sucking of the life force of the child. Every ancient culture would sacrifice children, and then it just became child rape. And that's why the enemy's so upset with what we're doing. You know, Trump is moving forward. God bless you, and thank you for the support, sir. I'm very humbled by it. Let's talk to Ryan in Pittsburgh, then Carlos. Go ahead, Ryan. You're on the air.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Alex. Do not change. It's your passion that's keeping me listening. I've been listening to you for a year, first-time caller.
Thank you.
It's your passion and your enthusiasm is what's really the big key to what's going on here.
Thanks.
If everyone had the same passion as you, we'd already be winning. Trust me.
Well, even Town Hall's reporting what I reported on a month ago. Why is MSM ignoring sex traffic bust all over the country about thousands of people with kids in dungeons, you name it? Because they're all basically Democrats. And they're trying to cover it up and focus on Milo, who got raped when he was a teenager, like he's the big bad guy. What do you make of that?
Well, they're not going to, even if we can't defeat them right now or in 2 years, 5 years, they're going to get what's coming to them in the end.
Absolutely. That's what we should all know is don't fear those that can kill, the body. Fear God, because if you're not with God, your soul. And this is all real, folks. We're on a planet in deep space, man. The enemy wants to keep you focused on TV and stupid stuff. Look around you. I mean, God said, look at the heavens, I'm real, and just tune into that and know we're going to defeat them. Carlos in Montreal, Canada, go ahead. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Thank you very much. We're with you and with President Trump. When facing a challenge, the natural reaction is for adrenaline to come out and give us focus. And I think it's important that looking from outside, the focus, in my opinion, should be to restore freedom to the American people. Freedom has been lost because every conversation, you have to watch your words because you don't know who's listening.
And we should ignore that, but I agree. Restore a beachhead here, spread it worldwide, not by force, but by culture.
Exactly. And if you look at, for instance, Ed Snowden's contribution, his contribution was to alert us to the fact that leaders abroad, Americans, were being listened to their conversations. Everything, apparently, over time we've found out, is being recorded. So that means that a young person wanting to be president one day could find himself in future with some TV station.
Exactly. It's about blackmail in the future, releasing what somebody said when they were 20 at a frat party. Exactly. Absolutely. This is very important what you're saying.
So I hope that if President Trump, and I mean that in the sense of what you started your discussion with, if President Trump wants to unite Americans, he does so. He brings up God to unite us. Then they talk about the devil. He brings up priests and the religious people. Then they talk about the witches. If President Trump wants to unite Americans, please restore to Americans their privacy. Take the NSA.
I agree. If he does that and invites a bunch of the real leftists that have been against all this in and unifies the people, they'll fall. All right, great point. Well, I know the Trump folks are listening. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Sorry to all the other callers. Call me back tomorrow. Lord willing, we'll be here 11 a.m. Central, Infowars.com/show. They're trying to shut us down. Spread those links because we're an integral part. Thank you all and great job of the crew.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing.
Today we call it bone broth, and for thousands of years our ancestors enjoyed its benefits before it became lost to our modern diets of processed junk. We are now introducing Caveman by InfoWarsLife.com, the ultimate in true paleo nutrition with bone broth, turmeric root, chaga mushroom, and 7 total primal superfoods in a single great tasting formula. Caveman. It's those people living in the wilds having to actually build civilization that are our superior ancestors. And we need to do everything we can to recapture that. Everyone knew that you used all the parts of the animal. You used the meat for sustenance, the fat for cooking, but you used the bones for strength. From the outside structure full of minerals and key cofactors to the marrow that produces the blood for the body. This is the engine of the life essence. I'm a long way from the caveman my ancestors were, but I'm sure as hell trying to get back to that essence that made us what we were, and this is a big part of it. I know you're going to want to check out Caveman Ultimate Paleo Formula for yourself at InfoWarsLife.com today.